friends, it's Cindy Brumbaugh from CindyLeeBDesigns.com, Independent Stamping Up Demonstrator. Today I'd like to show you this cute cat card, and it uses the new 9 Lives photopolymer stamp set. Yes, we have a stamp set that goes with the cat punch that's in the annual catalog. So you've got the cute little cat here and different ways to put markings on the cat and some great little the yarn and the bows and the goldfish and the little mouse and the little kitty dish. So we're going to be making this really super simple card, but we're going to be doing a new technique called mirror imaging, because you'll notice that the cat stamps with his tail towards the left, but we're going to do some mirror stamping so that we can punch it and have a mirror image of the cat. So let's get started here. 9 Live stamp set with the cat bunch. We're going to be using the wood crate framelits. A friend of mine, Karen Titus, did a card on Pinterest, as you've probably seen, with 3 black cats and a crate. So I got an idea to do the crate and use the pine wood planks embossing folder. So we are going to be using basic gray as our card base here. The inside will be a piece of white, and it'll be 4 by 5 1/4, and then our card base is going to be basic gray in 11" by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. All the measurements and the supplies and materials I use on this card will be on my blog post for this card. You'll look under the search bar for 9 Lives, the name of the stamp set, and you'll be taken to this card. So the front of the card, as you can see, is a 4 by 5 1/4" piece of Whisper White, and I ran it through the pine wood planks embossing folder, and that's the front of my card. I've been finding lately when I emboss something that I'm really being taken. I mean, I love the way it's supposed to look embossed, but I'm really just taking a different look at the debossed side, so which is kind of the wrong side. And on this card, I kind of liked it a little bit better. So that's what I'm doing on here. So on this card, let's just first do our wood crates here. So as I said, you're just going to run through a piece of basic gray right through the piece that's in the die set right here underneath here. And this piece here in this wood crate, oh, this is such a great set with all those country die cuts that you can do. So you're just going to run it through, whoop, the Big Shot. And then after you've run it through the Big Shot, you'll put it into your pine wood planks embossing folder, and it'll come out looking like this. And then what you're going to do is, you can see, I don't know if you can see in the video, but you can see the very fine score lines right here. And what I did is I just trimmed off those 2 little parts that normally would have put the crate together. So I just trimmed off those edges. And then I just trimmed off at this score line here. And I have really good light with this video, so I can see well. I hope you can see well. And then that is the upper crate. So what I did then is, this is a little trickier to find, is where is the score line on this. So you almost just have to play around till you find the score line. And it folds up almost exactly even at the top. So if you do that, you're going to be assured. It's probably right along inside that one embossed place. Oh, I almost did it wrong there, guys. I want to have the embossing going the same way on each one. So I'm going to want to fold it this way for my crate. And then I just went ahead and put some adhesive on these little slats that will be on the crate, and I closed up my crate. And then I knew I was going to have this little crate sitting, make sure I'm doing it the right way, sitting right there. So I just put some adhesive on that edge. And then I just used my grid paper as a nice line to know that I'm getting it straight. And there I've got the 2 crates looking like they're stacked somewhere. I guess even though these cats seem pretty fancy to me, they also reminded me of a barn or playing around outside where there's pallets around. So we've got our crates done. We've also, why don't we go ahead and just put this together here. So we're going to put some adhesive on our pine wood planks embossed white. And let's take this inside out here till we need it. And then we are just going to put that on the front of our basic gray portrait style A2 size card. Those are the, if you've been on any sites and you're wondering when people say A2 sized card, an A2 sized card is a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I had somebody email me and ask me about that. So actually, we're just going to kind of gingerly put that on there because we're going to have to put our little kitty on there. So there, we'll set aside our card. Now I'm going to show you how we're going to punch to make the cat a mirror image. So if you go to stamp the gray cat, I'm going to be bringing my Stamparatus over here. Stamparatus is great for mirror stamping, so I'm going to put a piece of smoky slate. I wanted a little bit of the contrast of the grays, so I used smoky slate for my cat, and then I used Memento Black, and I'm going to slide my stamp set right underneath that hinge, and then it gives me a nice base by which to get my inked up image there. Then put it down. I just cleaned this off with some undo, so it's a little slick for me. So there we go. We have our black cat. Now, on this cat has some spots. I have to admit, I'm not real versed on cat colors, so I did do a little research and found out different colors, so I might be a little off, but so what we'll do is we're going to just bring this down a little bit here so we can see it in the video here. Let me move this over a little bit. And on this cat, I'm going to give him some stripes instead of spots. And like I said before, I do ask you to forgive me if I'm making my cat the wrong color. And then what you do is just line up, which is very hard to do on video. Line up that image on top of the cat image, and we're going to pretend that this turned not perfect. That's bad. Let's try it again. Let's put that here again. That is the risk of doing it during your video. So there we go. We've got our black cat again. Oop. You can tell I put that cleaner on there. Okay, so now I'm going to just try this again. So I'm going to ink up my stripes with my smoky slate. Then I'm going to try to move this. It might be a little bit off camera, but I got to move it a little closer where I can see it. And that one looks a little better. Yes, see? It was worth doing a second one. So I put the little stripes on there, so I guess you could make like a there was a cat in front of our house yesterday that was like a real pretty saffron with some orange in it, and so I could have done that on. So then we're going to, one thing you have to do with the cat punch and the dog punch is trim it pretty close to the bottom of their paws, because it needs to fit into the punch. So then we just take our cat and we pop it into the punch, getting just about the same amount of cardstock showing around everywhere. Pop that kitty cat out. You won't see the back of it. And we have got the cat that's going to be sitting on the front of our card here. Now, as I said, he's facing with his tail to the left, but we want to get this one to point to the right. So what we're going to do is do what's called mirror stamping. Now, what we're going to do is leave our stamp in our Stamparatus right like that. Now I'm going to make sure that my mat here, my silicone mat, is there in place, and I'm going to ink up very well my stamp. Okay, I'm going to put no paper in there, and I'm going to stamp my cat onto the silicone mat. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp it one more time. So I'm going to put more ink onto my cat stamp, and I'm going to stamp again on my silicone mat. Open it up, Then I'm going to take a piece of Whisper White and I'm going to very carefully put it up into the corner and I'm going to drop it down. Okay? Don't move it. Now I'm going to stamp the cat again, ink him up, and I'm going to stamp onto that white. And when I'm stamping down on this cat right now, the places where it's impressing into the paper with the ink, it's actually pressing onto the image that we stamped on the silicone mat. So we'll get a nice firm pressure there. Leave it there for a second and then lift the cat up and look at that. You have the image that was lifted from the silicone mat is now onto the piece of Whisper White. So what we'll do is remove this. Now the really cool thing, whoops, sorry about that. Need to be a little more careful. The neat thing about this is this, of course, won't cut this out this way, right? You can see the cat's tail is on the wrong side. But when you cut it out on this side, now here we go. We're going to put, you would think it'd be easier with my holding it with my right hand, which is dominant, but it's actually a little bit trickier. I did tell my husband the other day I was gonna start doing things with my opposite hand just to make my brain work harder. Ha! So there we've got the cat that we punched directly on the paper the way it fits into the punch. We're gonna punch it, okay, but look, it die cut the reverse image cat. Now he's not as clear and dark as the other cat, but that's okay. We've got the reverse image. So we'll bring back our card, and it seems to me that I need to put a little bit of, no, actually the adhesive did there. So now what we're gonna do, as you can see on the card, is we're gonna put our kitty cats on there. So this kitty cat is going to just sit there. So we can just put some regular adhesive on him, and I put him down towards the back where his tail just covered up right about there, the little bit of the corner. And then our little girl, I'm gonna call her, she's gonna be sitting up at the top of this crate and then have her face covering a little bit of the crate. So we're going to put some adhesive on the back of the inside of the crate, okay? So, not this way, though that does look cute too, but because we wanted it to have a different effect here, we're gonna just slide her in a little bit on the upper crate to give it a little dimension there. Okay, there we go. I was doing that kind of awkwardly. So there we've got our little girl there, and I got some adhesive on there, but I want to be careful getting that adhesive off because it's freshly inked. But there, our adhesive remover. So now we have our cat to put on there. I put this up on dimensionals, so I'll turn that over and get my dimensionals out and scatter them about my crate on the back of the cat and down here in the corner. Let's just throw one here too. Okay, so now we will just get those little backs off. And remember, if you're ever having trouble, if you put your fingernail down through the middle of them, they seem to come off a little better. There we go. Slide your fingernail. It kind of gives a little crease in there so that you can get those little backs off and that you can decorate. Actually, maybe we should start saving those for confetti because it seems that they're everywhere. So there we go, pulling off all those dimensionals. And then I just kind of centered it on my card with the dimensionals popping up the crate and the cat. And then I used the sentiment, "A friend like you comes around in once in 9 lives," and I punched that out with the 1.5 inch punch. And then I used a layering circles die that gave a nice tight border around it. And that was going on to, actually, that would go, I did that wrong. We'll do it that way. And let's see here. Just put that onto the circle. If you'll notice, that 1.5 inch circle punch really goes well with that one circle die that's in the layering circles, and it gives it a little bit smaller of a border on it, And so I just put that right there. And then of course I felt the need to have a little bit of bling on here, so I gave this little white cat, she deserves a little bit of something something since she had to be a reverse image, so she's pretty amazing in itself that you can do a reverse image, but that'll jazz up. There we go. She's got her little jeweled necklace on. So there we go. We have a cute little card there. On the inside of the card, I decided to put, "You're the cat's meow." So there's a cute little ball of yarn that's in there. So I just did a little ball of yarn in smoky slate to carry the smoky slate into the inside. And then "You're the cat's meow." I ink that up in Memento Black and put that down in the corner. Oh, lovely. And so there was the inside of our card. And then I just pop that on the inside of our basic gray. And then we have the inside done. So a cute little card that has the two cats on it using white and gray. We used the spots on this one and the stripes on this one, but think of all the different colors you could do with the oranges and yellows, and boy, I really did enjoy looking up all the different cats images. Now, just a real quick review whenever, whoop, you're getting my arm in the picture there. A real quick review when you're doing stamping, mirror image stamping. So what you're going to do is ink up your cat, stamp it on the silicone mat. Ink it up again, put it onto your silicone mat. Then you'll put your piece of white or whatever color you're using and put it up in the corner and lightly, gently put it down. Don't move it. And if you want to put the magnet on there, you can, but make sure you don't move it. Then you'll ink up your cat again and stamp on the white. And when you stamp on the white, it's actually going to press down onto the ink that's on your silicone mat. And then that's going to give you an image. You're going to cut it out using the image that was stamped, and on the back you'll notice that that reverse image got pulled up. So is that cool? You could do that with the cat, you could do that with the dog, you can do that with the giraffe that's in the Animal Expedition. So you've probably seen it around, but I wanted to show you what mirror stamping looked like. So if you have any questions about this card using the 9 Lives stamp set and the cat punch that's found in the annual catalog, just you can text me at 724-323-2296 or give me a call. You can also email me at cindyleeb@gmail.com. And again, if you want to find out the materials and dimensions of the things I used on this card, you can always look under the search bar on my blog, cindyleebdesigns.com, and in that search bar, put 9 Lives, and this card will pop. So thanks for buzzing by, friends.